Hi and welcome. I'm Corrin from GraceNotesStitchers, and this recording is also actually about GraceNotesFabrics, so that's why the title is GraceNotesFabrics. This is not a typical floss tube. So my daughter and I do have a floss tube channel, which is GraceNotesStitchers. Our Instagram's not up right now. Okay, so what I wanted to do is welcome all of our new guests. We have so many new people, and I know that it's due to Nicole's story and Story Stitches. And I want to welcome all of you, make you feel at home here, but to kind of give you an intro of how all of this works, because I have been fielding a lot of questions. So I'm hoping that this might answer them all. If it doesn't, put a message below and I will answer that, hopefully. All right, so first off, Nicoles Fabric is joy to the world. You all are pre-ordering at this time. I do not keep hundreds of fabrics, empty fabrics sitting here on hand. So how this all works for me as a dyer is, or I should say for my family as dyers, is we order in the fabric, then we dye it, and then we send it to you. I do not invoice you until I know that the fabric is on the way. So when you get the invoice does not mean we're actually started dyeing, but it does mean that it's on its way to me, because sometimes it takes a few days for all of the processing to handle. We don't dye if we don't have the money. Does that make sense? So yes. So what that means is I have ordered, I'm going to just talk about 14 count Aida for a moment. 14 count Aida is really hard to get hold of right now. So unfortunately, we do bill our fabric of the month on the beginning of the month. Now, I have contacted all of the ladies. 14 count Aida did not arrive in my shipment. So it was told that it would be in my shipment and it wasn't. I have a major supplier. I have a secondary supplier. Neither of them had my 14 count Aida. So I have now gone to a third supplier. Supposedly she shipped it out on Saturday, but it's actually not in USPS system yet, which is really sad to me because I ordered lots of yards of Aida from her, but it looks like it might not even ship here until get in the mail until Friday. So we cannot dye any 14 count until this comes. And that is really hard. So unfortunately, we have fabric of the month to do. We still have some of our breast cancer awareness fabric, which is only available in the month of October, and half the proceeds do go to Breast Cancer Research Foundation. So you can still get in on that, any count, because we will be dyeing again because of this, waiting for the 14 count. Besides the fact that we guaranteed it. So that's just besides the point. So please, please, please be patient with us if we don't have your 14 count right away. It is out of our control. I did get my notice that my 36 count came back in stock, so I'm excited. We are placing another huge order, but a lot of that is spoken for. So I don't keep pre-dyed things on hand because we have 3 counts of Aida, we have 3 counts of Lugana. We have 4 counts of linen. And besides the fact of that, some of you want halves, some of you want quarters. So I'm not going to pre-cut. Does that make sense? I hope that helps a little bit. But I do have some inventory, and I'm going to tell you why. So I have this. And the reason is, whenever we dye a new color, or some of our previous colors, just because I hadn't set it up this way, I want to take photos of linen, Lugana, and Aida so you can see how the differences are when they dye, and so you know what color you are going to receive. So if somebody asked for, this is Twyla, so somebody asked for Lugana, I went ahead and I dyed Aida and linen. This is all about our process, by the way. So I have these available, and if somebody ordered them, they will be going out with their Joy to the World fabric. If nobody ordered them, I'm going to get them up in albums as soon as I have a spare moment. So we don't have on-hand inventory all the time, but we can dye. We can dye any color you want, anything in our albums, in any count. 14 count, though, will take some time. Hopefully soon. I mean, I ordered beaucoup amount of 14 count, so once it all arrives, I'm probably going to be drowning in 14 count, but that's okay. I'd rather have it than not have it for you all. But I hope that kind of gives you a little bit of insight. We enjoy dyeing. We love it. I think we have a pretty amazing product as we send it out. And we look forward to doing more sales with Nicole, maybe some other people in the future. I don't know. And we even have a shop who's interested in some of our fabric. But again, we have to wait for our inventory before we start that collaboration. Again, if that didn't answer any of your questions, please leave them below. Oh, I do know one more thing. The fabric of the month. Some of you are wondering how to join. I have 2 Google forms. If you don't have Google, it's really easy to sign up. I promise. If you don't want to sign up, just message me. I do not use PayPal. Okay. I know, please don't crucify me. We do not use PayPal invoicing. You can pay through PayPal, but I will not use PayPal invoicing. It costs me a lot, number one, but number two, all of my customers don't have PayPal. So I got complaints. You're going to get complaints no matter which way you go. I use QuickBooks. That can take your credit card. That can take ACH, which actually gives us a lot less fees. So it can do bank draft. I don't get your credit card information. So I never, ever automatic debit, okay? I will always invoice you, and then you have to put in your information. QuickBooks does not keep it. Just kind of let you know that your information is safe. Or you can pay me through PayPal, and I have all that information on your invoice for you. So it is your choice of how you pay. And then, excuse me, you should receive an email from EasyShip when your items do ship so that you will have a tracking number. And I do get it out the next day, I promise. The other day, I actually chased down a mail lady. So I do everything in my power to get the packages to the mail for you all. So it's not sitting in my house in a box. One common question that we do receive is, how do I order? We don't have a website, so we sell through our albums. So you just pick the color that you would like. So let's say you want the Phillip fabric, go to the Phillip and comment on it, what kind of fabric you want, what size you want, and the count that you want. And we'll make sure, if I put a heart by your comment, that means I've seen it, it's written down, and it will be in our next dye, by our next dye lot. Because I simply use the old pen and paper method, and I have a whole list and I check mark them off as they get cut and dyed. But for fabric of the month, you do need the first form, because that's what everybody needs to fill with your address and everything else. The second form is strictly for fabric of the month, but the prices for everything's on there too. So if you want to just take a peek at that form, go right ahead. You don't have to fill it out. That has the pricing for all of our cuts of fabric. But you get either a neutral or a color every month, unless you sign up for both clubs. Then you get both colors. And there's also a combo club, which means neutral 1 month, color the following month. This coming month is November, and that will be color, which means December will be a neutral. So that is how our combo club works. We have some people who are signed up for both clubs or combo. It doesn't matter. You can pick 2 different fabrics, for your both clubs. There's a place for comments that says, I have some people who say, I'd like my Lugana for the neutrals, and I'd like my Aida for the colors. I'm fine with that. That's really easy for me to do with the system that I use. So as you can see with our fabric of the month, our goal is to make you happy and hopefully give you happy mail. So you can pick neutral color or both. You can pick what size fabric. You get to pick the type of fabric, and you get to pick the count of fabric that you receive, because we want what you're going to stitch on. That being said, with the Aida, please be gracious. Sometimes you are going to get a larger piece of fabric. Typical Aida is 18 inches by 21.5 inches. And the reason is it's a 43-inch piece on the bolt. It's 43 inches wide. So a quarter is 21.5 inches. And I've done a lot of research, and that is typically a half or a quarter of Aida. But a quarter of regular fabric is 27.5 inches by 18 inches. That is a fat quarter of linen and Lugana. Your Aida will vary depending on the manufacturer. And at this point in time, I'm going to be taking whatever I can, as long as it's not an inferior product. So sometimes you will get a larger piece of Aida, but I am not charging you a different price, okay? I just wanted to let you know that. But don't be upset when you do get your regular size when we are able to have our regular manufacturer. We prefer Zweigart. We just love how it dyes and irons and everything else. But if we can use a different brand and still get you the same product, we are doing our very best to get that out to you. So sometimes, yes, in Aida, you will get a little bit of a larger piece than normal. And I just wanted to let you know why that happens. So I hope that this answered all of your questions. If not, again, just drop them below. Happy stitching!